Reality on the ground, the real people, real issues. We're coming to you live from the KCCA City Hall, and today we're going to tackle something you and I are going to be shocked about, but it's serious. In 2016, that was like 2 years ago, well, the government came out and said that, well, they're going to put a tough ban on smoking in public places, and at least 50 meters away from the public spaces such as schools, hospitals, taxi ranks, and people lighting up in the bars, restaurants and hotels were facing a penalty of $60 then, or jail for up to 2 months. And today KCCA is launching one of the biggest campaigns, and we're going to talk to one of the big men behind this campaign. It's called Dr. Okello, the Director Health in KCCA. Good morning, Doctor.
Morning.
I start a very good morning with you being tough today.
No, I'm not being tough. I'm just trying to save your life. I'm trying to make sure Kampala is safe. I'm trying to make sure the people and the citizens of Uganda are safe.
Are safe. Yes. Doctor, let's talk about what is coming today. You're going to ban smoking so people can't smoke anymore in the city centers?
The law limited smoking, and as you said clearly, you're not allowed to smoke within 50 meters of a public building. In a public building or a public place, in anywhere from a football stadium to a mall, to your private offices, to schools, to hospitals. So we are going to launch a program where we are going to sensitize people about the law, and in some cases we'll enforce. But also the same law banned shisha. So shisha is contraband. Yes.
Okay. Now, this is getting interesting. When you mention shisha, it's the new ish in town. What are the terms for shisha?
The terms are that we are not supposed to have shisha anywhere. It is banned. It's not supposed to be in the country. It's not supposed to be in any place.
Doctor, look in the camera when you're mentioning this. I don't want people to just say, I'm such a samla, you ruin your face. Shisha is what?
Shisha is banned. As per the law, the Tobacco Control Act, it bans the smoking of shisha and actually the sale of shisha.
Wow.
And the law is such that if I get you selling shisha or dealing in shisha, I can request court such that I seize the proceeds you got from actually the sale of shisha.
You seize the proceeds.
And I can, the law also gives me power to ask court to actually withdraw your license, your trading license, for a period of about 6 months.
6 months.
So shisha is banned, ladies and gentlemen. You don't expect shisha in this country.
Doctor, let's go slow. What happens for bars or hangout places that have been known for shisha? Like people actually jump out in office and they say, let me just go have one pot. Let me just go and let me just be with friends and they say pot. What happens to these bars?
Yeah,
because I'm sure you know them.
Yeah, this is an alert to the bars outside there. If you've been doing it, stop. If you intend to do it, don't even start. So all those that are dealing in shisha, they should stop forthwith because the law is very clear, it bans shisha.
So what about those ones who are going just to have their shisha pots maybe in their private entities? Will they be equally, apprehended and taken to the law?
Yes, the law completely banned the importation and the use of shisha in Uganda.
If I have my neighbor, and I know my neighbor has shisha parties in the other side of the perimeter wall, can I report to KCCA?
Yes, you can report to KCCA. You can report to the nearest police station, or you can report to anybody who has the force of law to come and take them to court.
This is something outrageous. So why now? Because this was actually passed in Parliament 2 years ago, 2016. Why 2018 that you KCCA are coming up in strong cheers?
Why now is that the law gave people a period of 6 months to adjust, which was about 2017. But you have also been sensitizing people and bar owners, and you have also been moving around trying to sensitize people about it. And there are also certain aspects of regulations of the law that you have been working on. What kind of posters should come out, what size should they have. But the most important thing is the realization that tobacco kills. Up to half of the people who take tobacco actually die. Let me give you a comparison. Last year, 940,000 people worldwide died due to AIDS-related conditions. 7 million people died due to tobacco-related diseases.
That's a big figure.
Now, 940,000 HIV or AIDS-related conditions, 7 million people TB. In Uganda, 204 people die every week due to tobacco-related diseases. Those are 14 Kamunyes.
Doctor,
that is every day. That is every day they tell you a Kamunye crashed on Masaka Road or crashed on Bombo Road and everybody perished. Every day 2 Kamunyes of people the equivalent of 2 millions of people died due to tobacco-related conditions. Yes. So it's a serious thing. It's a public health threat, and as KCCA, it is something to tackle. But don't think that only people who smoke die. Out of the 7 million people in the world who die each year due to tobacco, 1 million are non-smokers.
They're passively involved.
Yes, second-hand smoke. So just because you think I'm seated somewhere and someone is smoking, I'm not affected, you're equally
getting sick.
Yes, at risk.
Okay, let's look at the dangers of shisha and just there is this, the cigar stick, just taking that, and then there is shisha. What the way you mentioned shisha, that it is banned, it seems to be like something grave. Why I'm so much on shisha as regards to the other forms of smoking? Because shisha is everywhere, boss.
Yeah, you know what? When you look at the tobacco industry, because shisha tends to be flavored, they tend to sell it as something that is non-risk, something
Vanilla.
that is cool, all those vanillas. But the fact is, it has tobacco-like substances in them, and we know that tobacco by itself has about 4,000 different chemicals. And as you say, tobacco actually has no use. You're taking it. One, to more or less, as I say, half of the people actually die. So shisha, they are trying to modernize something that actually kills. So shisha is actually as bad or even as worse as any other tobacco that you actually take. Yes.
So what are the implications here in case you find someone drinking shisha or smoking next to a public place? What are the penalties like?
One is that you confiscate, because as I say, it is banned, so you confiscate what is there. But secondly is that the law gives a lot of responsibility on the owner. So if you're a bar manager, if you're the owner, previously the law would look at, the laws usually tend to look at it, but this law looks at the owner who is equally culpable and also the bar manager. So the bar manager, the owner, and the person who has been smoking are both equally culpable for that crime that is actually there. So the repercussion is that when I come and I find a smoker, I'll also take the manager in, I'll also take the owner in as the person who is culpable for that crime. And
how much is it going to cost me to get out of jail in case now I need to come out of jail?
The discretion is with the court, as you actually say that it will go anywhere from 20 currency points up to, as the court may actually decide, where they may say, do you have to confiscate your proceeds? Do I have to actually withdraw your license for 6 months? And once you withdraw your license, that means that you close shop. So it's anywhere from a fine of about 20 currency points or more to actually closing shop and withdrawing your license.
Dr. Okello, a few months ago, I've seen KCCA, round up some bars and they take the shisha, with the police, of course. And just a few days, they get back into operation. How sure are we that this crackdown is going to work?
This time it is more than KCCA. UNBS is on board, URA is on board. So from points of entry, no shisha will come in. From other areas,
why
UNBS is actually...
now? Where does URA get
URA comes in because they manage the customs.
Okay.
When people are trying to bring in the shisha, they're also trying to bring in the smokeless tobacco products that are actually coming in. Also, the law also doesn't allow the e-cigarettes. People are now moving to the e-cigarettes. So that one also, URA will help us with that. UNBS also helps at points of entry. And also the police is also with us on this. So it's much, and Ministry of Health, it's much bigger, and we have come together as various partners to make sure we can enforce.
Is this just going to be only in Kampala, or later on it's going to spread to the entire nation?
As Kampala, we have set it off, but the nation, I know in Mukono and other areas, are also planning to follow suit. So Kampala, we have set it up with the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Health is going to roll it out countrywide.
Wow. There you have it. We're still having Dr. Okello, the Director of Health, and they're saying they're going to ban a lot of tobacco in the city center. We have had students actually who are involved in this. What becomes of them if a student is, arrested smoking next to a school? Or there is another flavor. There is Cuba in the market.
Now, Cuba is among the group that they call smokeless tobacco products.
Okay.
Those ones have also been banned by the law.
Okay, doctor, let's break it down. The smokeless tobacco products.
Yes.
Highlight them for me. At least I know.
That is, there are different makes that they call Cuba. They all come in different flavors, but there's tobacco in them.
Okay.
And those ones have also been banned by the law. So that's why we need URI on board. That's why you need UNBS on board.
So the student who is found smoking, he will still face the same penalty?
You also, the student who is for smoking, of course, with smoking, depending on the person, you don't want to go to the extreme. For a student, you'd want to counsel them, tell them the effects of smoking or non-smoking. But within the confines of the schools also have their laws before you take them to national laws. So it's not that we are only going to have the stick, but we'll also have the carrot for the counseling. And those who want to quit, we'll also give them advice of how do you quit in case I want to.
Do we have rehabilitation centers for the ones who want to quit? And how long, according to now, you're a doctor, how long will this take? Or will it even be free of charge?
We are going to set up what we call a quit line. There will be a phone number that you can call and be able to speak with the counselor.
Okay.
We are working with the Uganda Counseling Association to make sure, can we set up quit lines, who can you call, who can you have a talk with, and we are also going to partner with the other medical experts in addiction. And for us in this country, it is a national mental health hospital, which is Butabika. So we are going to move along the chain and see such that we can make sure that people get out of this habit.
Wow. There you have it. Doctor, I wanted to put it in shillings that people know if you're found smoking next to a public entity, you're going to, maybe like 50,000, 200,000 and above.
Yeah, if you're caught smoking, definitely the minimum will be 200,000. 200,000
minimum.
I mean, depending on what court may actually decide, but that's around the range. That's around the range that actually court will decide. But as you're saying, is 50 meters in a public place. But why we are saying smoke-free is that if you look around 50 meters in a public place within here.
Okay, now like where could the smoker be?
Without here, within 50 meters, there's actually nowhere you can smoke. Because the place also includes the gardens, so within Parliament and so on, so you can't smoke within 50 meters.
Smoke.
Within 50
abantu bagenda
meters.
fuira sigara mbisawe
Naye tetwagala bafe kubanga kyengambye nti wobeera ng'onywa sigara 50% ojja kufa nti sure deal ojja kufa. It is like say let me put a gun to my head.
I get you. What becomes of the untouchables? You know we have the untouchables, doctor. You'll find, I've seen many politicians, when the law was passed in 2016 by Parliament, well, we saw some of the big shots still smoking in public places and were not apprehended. How are you, KCCA, going to handle some of these MPs, these big commissioners smoking in public areas?
Yeah, we expect by them being leaders by themselves and you being, in quotes, having the term of untouchable or big shot, you're supposed to lead by example. And I'm told the law does not discriminate, and in that context, don't expect the law to discriminate.
Have you heard of the word, do you know who I am? Have they ever called that word to you, doctor?
And I usually tell them that, please introduce yourself, because I don't know who you are.
So, does this mean that you have empowered your enforcement team, that whoever it is, regardless of the office they go to, regardless of the power they have to succumb to this?
Yes, we have taken them through a training. We have also developed an enforcer's handbook. How do you enforce when you actually meet somebody? How do you communicate with the person? You don't always have to use the stick first, but communicate with the person what you're doing, whether they are doing something wrong. Because we are also aware that some people may not know about the law, just like you didn't know.
Yeah.
So you may have to educate them such that the next time they don't actually do it. Yes.
Have we taken these awareness campaigns and sensitization down to Muntu Wawansi, someone down in Chiseka smoking in the market, someone smoking next to Nachivubo Blue primary school, like down there? Do we have this awareness campaign covering all those areas?
That's why we have started now, and that's why we are launching today. We are going to be on various media outlets. We are going to have activations, as you're saying. Muntu Wawansi to realize why should I not smoke? If I'm telling you that you're going to use up to 10% of your income on cigarettes, which money may actually you're burning bricks. You're actually burning your bricks into ashes. That would put a house as you're smoking. So we are going to go down to Muntu Wawansi. We are going to go down to all these areas of congregation where people congregate. We are going to go to places of entertainment. For the launch today, we have called owners of places of entertainment. Show them that much as we ban smoking in such places, there won't be any loss in business.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Well, let's look at the bigger picture of the bar owners and the revelers, what becomes of the place? Like when you lock it down, you said you can lock it down to a space of 6 months?
Up to 6 months you can withdraw your license.
Wow, this is rough now. Don't we have a plea, like someone can't plea for, don't we have like a first warning, second warning, or you're just going to go in a full wave and you say, this is it?
The law gives provision to warn, give you a warning, and if you're a repeat offender, as the law will say, then that's when you go to withdrawing of your license for 6 months.
Okay.
That's for the repeat offenders. So as I say, we'll have the stick and we'll have the carrot, because we'll have sensitized people.
So how many times are we going to warn people?
Usually what you'll do is that the first warning is to have a notice, a visible notice, tell people that no smoking is allowed here. Because when you have the notice, then you expect the managers to enforce. Then from then on, when we come to place and we actually warn you the first time or warn you the second time and the third time, that's when actually we'll take you to court.
Wow. There you have it, the banning tobacco smoking in Kampala. If you're watching this from wherever you're watching from, Masaka, Zimbabwe, wherever you are, maybe in Amuriat, when you come to Kampala here, tobacco smoking is going to be banned. It's something that many of you can laugh. Of course, you can laugh like these things are not going to work. But Dr. Okello has actually confirmed the enforcement. We are going to have the anti-terrorism unit, Uganda police, KCCA, URA, URSB. So all angles will be covered to make sure that this is actually attained. It kills many people. Can we have the figures again, the statistics, how many people die?
204 people every week in Uganda due to tobacco-related disease. And out of the 204, 136 are men.
Men?
Yes.
Wow.
So the numbers are there, 14 Kamunyas every week. Yes.
What are the effects of tobacco on someone's health, basically?
One is that it is the most what we know is cancer, and that is cancer of the lungs. It causes cardiovascular disease, hypertension, can lead to diabetes, can lead to heart attacks. So all those are part of the causes of actually cigarette smoking.
So what becomes of people actually who are dealing in tobacco business, which you KCCA have given them licenses to operate?
What we are saying, yes, you can deal in tobacco, but the law says don't smoke within 50 meters of a public building. If
50 meters involves the gardens.
So if you can get your 50 meters in Kampala and you're not near a public building or a public space, it is okay. But definitely, as we say, it won't be that easy because of the nature of the city. But if you can get within your 50 meters, that is, 50 meters of a mall, 50 meters of an office, 50 meters of actually the taxi park is taken as a public place. So 50 meters of a taxi park, 50 meters of a church, 50 meters of a hospital.
Okay, just hypothetically, do you see the 50 meters around Kampala here, doctor?
People are creative. Maybe they are there and me are not seeing. People may actually be creative.
How creative can you be? Because you say 50 meters equally cover the gardens.
Yes.
So that means if I'm at a church, I can't even go in the gardens and smoke.
You can't, because the gardens are the confines of the church. They are within the confines of the church.
Wow. This is getting complex. Smoking in Kampala. So literally they're telling you, and do we have designated time, like from 6 to this time, or no time, any time you can arrest us?
What I said, the law did not even have, because people are going to ask you, can I have a smoking area, non-smoking area in a bar or a disco? No, the law does not allow for that. Can I have smoking rooms in a hotel and non-smoking rooms? The law also banned the smoking rooms and non-smoking rooms. So there are no times. So
any time is a crackdown time.
As long as you're within the 50 meters of a public building, an officer of the law may actually apprehend you.
Wow. There you have it. It's a campaign rolling out today. You and I need to know where you're smoking from. The ones that are smoking Cuba, we have the ones smoking shisha. I have a friend called Ismail Chisembo. You don't know what you've done to him. So Chisembo, they're saying they're saving your life. Doctor says that they're saving people like you not to actually get into your deathbed quite earlier. This campaign is rolling out today, and it's a symposium that is going to involve bar owners, entertainment. We have some entertainers involved because our artists in Uganda, Doctor, they're known for smoking, and this is like swag. It's the ish.
Yes, we have also called them, as you say, that they have an audience they speak to, but they also have a responsibility that they should be able to take care of the people's public health. So we have also invited them to be here.
Wow.
Yes.
There you have it. Artists, this is it. We have always wanted something like this, and it has come through. So they're saying 50 meters away from any public place. This covers a church, an office, a school, parliament, a home. Please give us these places, because public places could be like in Zendimun Park.
Very quickly, but not exhausting them, you'll find that a church, a mall, a market, as you say, the taxi park, any place that is accessible by the public is actually taken as a public place. So even your office, your private office, where you come and sit and you meet your clients, is also taken as a public place. So bars, restaurants, hotels, so the whole hotel structure.
And my neighbor's home?
Of course, your home is actually your home.
Yes.
But you may hypothetically say, if I have a party
at my home and I'm inviting my friends,
then that means that you brought the public in, and that means that you can't smoke.
My home is now a public domain.
Taxis, buses, you're not supposed to smoke in them.
Wow. There you have it. So you can't smoke. Is my car still a public?
If you allow the public in and you have 3 or 4 people inside, then it becomes a public place and you can't smoke.
There you have it. You can't even smoke in your own car. Just so you know, KCCA is rolling out this campaign today, and they're saying that it's against tobacco. Tobacco kills. You and I need to have a health life. We need to live a health life with our children. We need to grow our children in a better environment. So 50 meters from a public place. From the look of things, here in Kampala, we don't have 50 meters away from any public office. That means smoking in Kampala. What? They're going to arrest you, they're going to take you in, or you're going to pay a fine. Doctor, let me look at an individual who is actually smoking down at the tax park and is just smoking his cigar, and is arrested. Or will this person have a warning, like you said earlier? There is a notice that is given?
Yeah, definitely there are going to be notices that we are going to put out. And as part of today's campaign, there will be notices of no smoking in public areas. And definitely when you're caught smoking, as for the enforcer's guide, we'll talk to you and say, hey, smoking is not allowed. Please extinguish your cigarette and just be able to walk on.
Oh, so that is the warning.
Yes.
All right.
We'll need to warn people.
All right. I was worried that you know your boys, the way they arrest people downtown there. But
the enforcer's handbook. So the enforcer's handbook will guide them. Hey, don't smoke because of ABC.
That's the question they will ask.
And we have also given them the skills of how to deal with people.
Okay. Yes. That is better. Well, that brings us to the end of our reality on the ground today. KCCA is rolling out this campaign. You and I need to be a part of it. It's something we need to embrace as a nation, as Ugandans. Tobacco kills, and they're saying shisha is banned. Even if you hear your neighbor who has a party and they've brought shisha in, call police, call KCCA, they'll come and they will arrest him or her. They'll confiscate every gadget they're using, so it's something we need actually to join the force. And today they're going to be actually addressing the media about this, but I wanted to tap into the doctor's mind before actually the other media start too. So that is all from me, Omuntu and C. Andrew Chamaga, and this is Reality on the Ground. Smoking kills, tobacco kills. Stay away from it. If you're going to smoke, 50 meters away from public places.